right, guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Brett, and this is the Christian Rebel. Hope all of you are having a blessed day. So today we're doing more research on Joseph Smith and Mormonism, and I've done a lot of reading from the Book of Mormons, from their LDS websites, the Book of Abraham, the sermon he preached at that funeral, the Follett sermon. I'm drawing a blank here. I believe that's what it's called. And so today we're looking at 5 false prophecies about Joseph Smith. I did a search on Google. There was many websites that showed the same false prophecies, and they give sources on where to find them. And J. Warner Wallace is one of them from Cold Case Christianity. Christ and Prophecy was another. Carm was another. I could go on and on the websites that listed these false prophecies. And a lot of us showed these 5, and there's few that showed many more. But I wanted to focus on these 5, and these false prophecies, I believe, proves that Joseph Smith failed the test of prophecy, that's in Deuteronomy. So let's go to number 1. Number 1 here says Joseph Smith made open dated prophecies, such as when he predicted in 1835 the coming of the Lord, which was nigh, even 56 years should wind up on the scene. The source they used was History of the Church, Volume 2, page 182. So an open dated prophecy. So in 1835, if you had 56 years of that, Jesus still hasn't come yet. He made self-fulfilling prophecies, such as when he claimed the Lord instructed him to not translate anymore until he had arrived in Ohio. Doctrines and Covenants, chapter 37, verse 1 is another source they used. So I got a self-fulfilling prophecy that I'm going to tell you today. At lunchtime today, I'm going to make a cheeseburger. And that's probably going to come true. Was told not to translate anymore until he had arrived in Ohio. So he could say, yeah, I'm in Ohio. I'm going to translate now. No, that's not how it works. Number 3, Smith made conditional prophecies, such as when he stated that if the people of Ohio repented, they would not be severely judged by the Lord. Another source they use is Doctrines and Covenants, chapter 40, verses 16 through 18. To add to my other prophecy, a conditional prophecy, is that I might make my hamburger taste better if I add mustard. Yeah. Or pickles. That's a conditional thing I might do. Yeah, that sounds good, actually. I think I will do some pickles on my cheeseburger today. Number 4, Smith went even as far to make close-dated, unconditional prophecies, such as when in 1832 he prophesied that an LDS temple would be built in Independence, Missouri within his generation. It's 2025, there's no temple in Independence, Missouri, and it never happened in his generation. And do you think this is why this has forced some of the LDS leadership to admit this prophecy never came true? We need to read Deuteronomy at the end of this video. Number 5, Smith also made several fanciful prophecies, such as when in 1837 he proclaimed that the Lord he had told him that the moon was inhabited by men and women who looked like the people of the earth, and that they lived up to 1,000 years old, stood nearly 6 feet tall, and dressed uniformly like Quakers. The source they used was the Oliver B. Huntington Journal in 1881. So, 5 failed prophecies. Is he a prophet? No. According to Deuteronomy chapter 18, verses 20 through 22, it says, but a prophet who presumes to speak in my name, anything I have not commanded, or a prophet who speaks in the name of other gods is to be put to death. You may say to yourselves, how can we know when a message has not been spoken by the Lord? If what a prophet proclaims in the name of the Lord does not take place or come true, that is a message the Lord has not spoken. That prophet has spoken presumptuously, so do not be alarmed. And the final verse is Galatians chapter 1, verses 8 and 9. But even if we or an angel, the angel Moroni, from heaven should preach a gospel other than the one we preach to you, let them be under God's curse, anathema. Verse 9, as we have already said, so now I say again, if anybody is preaching to you a gospel other than what you accepted, let them be under God's curse. So the angel Moroni told Joseph Smith to go dig up some tablets from a hill in New York that he has to translate. Again, another angel from heaven. There are fallen angels. And if they should preach a gospel other than the one we preach to you, let them be under God's curse, as we have already said. So now I say again, if anybody's preaching to you a gospel other than what you accepted, let them be under God's curse. So I say this to those in the Mormon religion. Please read Galatians, read John, read the New Testament, not through the lens of Joseph Smith and Mormonism, but the help with the Holy Spirit and what the Bible actually says. And context is important. Now, I could read that whole chapter 1 and put it right in context and share with you that this angel Moroni was preaching another gospel to Joseph Smith, or Joseph Smith made the whole thing up. All right, guys, comment below on what you think. Did he pass the test of being a prophet? In my opinion, no, he did not. All right, guys, love you guys. I'm praying for you. Always choose that narrow path. If you like good Christian content, please like, subscribe, and share, and hit that notification bell so you know when I have more content released. And be a rebel and follow Jesus. And until next time, you guys keep the faith.